Hey, hi, and hello, everyone. Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd, and I regret to inform you, Blueface has fallen off.
That's news. That's brand new information.
Blueface, West Coast rapper who was once one of the biggest and most viral rap artists in the country. Some of you guys watching may be young, so let me take you back to the far and away place of 2018, when Blueface would drop his career-defining hit, Tatiana. Now, it took a minute for this track to really gain traction to the point where it was getting the remix treatment with Cardi B and YG. But when this track popped off, it popped off. The summer of Tatiana was insane. Not only because the track was so hot, it ended up being a top 10 single, but Blueface came through on this track with some serious potential. The guy was tall, good looking, stylish, he had charisma, and a kind of silly, goofy personality on the mic that stood out. Was he a great rapper? Not necessarily. It was kind of a running joke that he raps faster than the beat itself, that he is either catching up to or outrunning the beat. However, a lot of this like rambling, fast, almost spoken word style of rap has gotten a lot more popular, especially in the Midwest, since Blueface popped off. Shirt switch. Also, I want to add here that for some younger listeners, there has been a bit of a misunderstanding for Blueface's style, that there is precedent for what he does with rappers like E40 having kind of a bit of an offbeat flow style, and him being obviously a legend in the game. This single ended up going platinum. Blueface became Cash Money Records affiliated, which, again, all the potential, all the opportunity in the world. From here, he would go on to drop a kind of mid-mixtape and album, which, again, hilariously titled Find the Beat. We do appreciate that Blueface self-awareness. And what happens from here is like this insane, twisted spiral of a shit show that is honestly difficult to recount, because Blueface's life has pretty much become one of the most insane and chaotic in hip-hop. He started drifting away from the music, for one, and I guess began engaging in this OnlyFans reality show where it was a dating competition. A woman named Krishan Rock ended up winning the show, but not without getting in a fight, which would lead to her losing her front tooth. Since these two linked up, it's completely destroyed this man's image, his career, his brand, his everything, which I don't want to lay that at the feet of Krishan. I'm not saying like she Yoko Ono'd the guy or anything like that, which I'm not sure how you can Yoko Ono one man, but she essentially separated him from his music career. However, that seems to be something that Blueface is completely fine with. Every step of the way, he seems to have been completely on board with the chaos going on in this relationship, and with constantly putting it out there on social media as if he's living in this non-stop trash reality show. These two constantly go on this run of like interview appearances, Instagram lives, podcast talks to discuss whatever is the latest bullshit going on between Blueface and Krishan and Jaden and the baby and their family and da-da-da-da-da. And this latest thing here with Blueface not being allowed to see the baby is just the latest and most insane thing. Like, the past several years since these two have gotten together, I'm constantly seeing one or both of them trending, and it's never for music. One of them is hitting the other. One of them is hitting the other again. Blueface takes some glass to the head. I've seen video footage of this woman vacuuming glass out of this man's scalp. Apparently also at one point she fessed up to breaking into his house and like writing on his wall in blood. And that's just a handful of highlights that I feel okay subjecting you guys to. I hate this, and simultaneously, I don't know why I know more about it than I should. In trying to do research for this video, I came across several article timelines of the progression of their relationship, which like I was reading, I was like, wait, why is this article missing the time that their families were like fighting each other on video? Because again, there was just so much insanity happening between the both of them at any given moment on any given week. And I guess in a way it's kind of understanding that Blueface hasn't dropped a full-length project or mixtape since 2020, because maintaining this bullshit clout drama empire has to be more time consuming than being a rapper, which leads me to come to the conclusion of this fall off video and just kind of ask, like, what happened to the music? And look, I know the guy has released some music over the past few years. He's had a feature here and there, and when he does drop a track, of course, it's usually about some of this bullshit going on, despite the fact that, again, he came through with so much potential. And when he does drop music, it is either, again, in reference to or in service of all this drama, or it's like some of the worst shit he's ever put out. I guess he dropped a track, House Arrest, not too long ago, which features lyrics like, I got two little monkeys jumping in the bed, one fell off and bumped the bitch head. This so good, make a bitch special ed. If she ever left me, it was only for the weekend. She came back Monday, she came back in the deep end. That better be squirt. You better not be pee-peeing. Okay. Maybe we don't want him to come out with new music. I will say one thing, though. In this transition out of music, Blueface has done a little celebrity boxing, and he actually seems like a pretty competent boxer with a good southpaw style. He's patient, has good defense, good footwork too. Like, I guess there's serious potential here if he were to continue doing this. But yeah, when it comes to rapping, recording, making any kind of song that you wouldn't listen to just to gawk at it, Blueface has completely fallen off. But in today's negative vortex of social media attention, it's hard to tell whether or not Blueface is actually more successful and going harder today than he was back in 2018. Because I think now he's landing more interviews than he was back then. Certainly more than your average rapper is. He's certainly trending more on social media as well. And I imagine all this bullshit is netting him and Jaden and Krishan quite a bit of money. Clout and comments and social media followers is only worth so much of your time and energy. And these three are running their lives like it's a 24-hour news cycle. It's all got to be real in some way, shape, or form. This shit is still going even with the writer's strike going on, because the drama and the everything with all of this has been so constant. I wouldn't have been surprised to learn that there's like a whole team of writers like coming up with what they're going to do or say next behind the scenes. I mean, he's essentially created the I Love New York of this generation, which is kind of an impressive feat, because the memes and stories and chaos and insanity to come out all of this will most likely be remembered for years to come, much longer than even Blueface's music. Thank you very much for watching. Over here next to my head is another video you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, Blueface, forever.